There's one film I feel I must do before I die. No matter how much I have to fight, no matter how much I have to beg, there's just one film I must accomplish.
What is it?
I'm not gonna tell you.
Oh, come on, you can't hype us up like that and then just drop us. What's the film about?
It's a remake of a film from the 70s. But it'll probably never happen, so why even talk about it?
Oh, remakes from the 70s are in. That's how Hollywood does these days. Like, if you walk into a pitch meeting with a remake from the 1970s, it's a clear shoo-in. You got it made.
Yeah, all you have to do is just acquire the rights. You can't give up so easy. This is Hollywood, the land of dreams and fantasies, the land of unexpected success stories and perseverance. If you give up on your dreams, who's gonna make them happen? You have to make them happen. You have to stand up and scream at the naysayers. It's my time and you're gonna allow me this indulgence, and no one is gonna stop me. The next time you take a meeting with a Hollywood executive, you're gonna look him straight in the eyes and you're going to say, it is my time and you're gonna allow me this indulgence. And then you're gonna pitch that motherfucker with all your heart and you're gonna watch him greenlight your dream project.
You are absolutely right. I am gonna call and call and call, so they have to see me. I'm gonna pitch this project so they can't say no.
There you go.
I will make that remake of Star Wars if it's the last thing I do.
You can forget about that one, brother. Give it up.
Oh, motherfucker, I am going to do it and nothing is gonna stop me. It's my time and they will allow me this indulgence.
Nah, that one's not gonna work.
Dude, they're gonna laugh you out of the office.
Right, after they call security.
But before they call the white coats.
A remake of Star Wars. Think about it. How hot would that be? Every actor in Hollywood would want to be a part of that.
Yeah, think about it. What's wrong with the original? It's perfect.
It's not perfect. Even George knew it was not perfect.
That's why he fixed it with the special edition.
But he messed it up. He didn't even fix the loophole at the end of the film.
What loophole?
Oh my God. Am I the only one in the entire universe that sees the loophole at the end of the first film?
Now, wait, are we talking about the first film, episode 4, or the fourth film, episode 1?
The first film with Mark Hamill.
He said it was a remake from the 70s, remember?
Okay. Star Wars 101. The Rebel Alliance has analyzed the Death Star's defense system. And they've determined no ship can pass through the force field, except for those spaceships that are only small enough to house a single man, because the Empire doesn't think these ships are large enough to be any threat. So, the Alliance decides to take advantage of this chink in the armor, and they send in an entire fleet of one-man X-Wing fighters.
Right, and Luke Skywalker and the X-Wing fighters have that fantastic trench scene.
Right, and the shields are clearly working because Darth Vader comes out in a one-man TIE fighter. If the shields were working, they would have sent bigger ships, a cruiser, a destroyer, something.
Okay, I'm following along. Where's the plot hole?
Okay, I'm getting to that. So, all the X-Wing fighters are destroyed, except Luke's. And he's about to get shot by Darth Vader when, all of a sudden, he is saved by Han Solo in the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
Plot hole! Plot hole right there! Plot hole!
I don't see one.
Let's think about it for a minute. The Millennium Falcon. It's pretty fucking huge, isn't it? It houses a lot more than just one man, right?
Oh yeah, how does the Millennium Falcon get through that force field?
Maybe they lowered them.
Why would you lower your defenses when you're in the middle of an attack? Gee, we're under attack. Let's lower our force field so the bigger ships can attack us as well.
No, the force fields probably were just destroyed in the attack.
No, because Darth Vader came out with his one-man TIE fighter. If the shields were destroyed, why wouldn't they have launched all the ships at their disposal? Instead, they keep with the one-man TIE fighters? That can't be the answer.
No, they didn't launch the bigger ships because Grand Moff Tarkin didn't feel there was any concern. He remember he's warned by the aide that there's a possible threat, so he just scoffs it off.
Yeah, he scoffs it off because what threat are X-Wing fighters with limited firepower? His reasoning is that of the Empire, that X-Wing fighters are of no concern, they're not a threat. He's concerned with the big ships that are being blocked by the force field. There'd be a considerable threat if the force field weren't holding those ships at bay, but that still doesn't explain how the Millennium Falcon got through.
That's because the Millennium Falcon didn't get through. The Millennium Falcon isn't even in the trench. It clearly shoots Darth Vader's TIE fighter from a distance.
That makes no sense either. The danger of any ship is not the ship itself, but the lasers that it fires. If the force field would allow the lasers in, but not the ships, then the rest of the Alliance ships would have converged to at least give firepower covering while the X-Wings went in for the assault. There was no point in even sending them, though, because the force field wouldn't allow the firepower of a big enough ship through.
It was a conspiracy to lower the shields perpetrated by the white stormtroopers.
All the stormtroopers were white.
Would you two shut up? This is very important. It's the biggest goddamn loophole in movie history, and no one in the whole world seems to notice it.
Well, it's not important.
Since when are plot holes not important? They're important because we notice them. That's what makes them important.
You just said the whole world doesn't notice it.
I notice it!
Well, that raises a fundamental question now, doesn't it? If a plot hole exists and nobody seems to notice it, does the plot hole cease to exist?
Every film fucks up. So remember T2, the special edition?
What's wrong with that one?
No, when the Terminator has to sew up Sarah Connor's shoulder, and he's like, do not worry, I have detailed files on human anatomy. And literally, like 10 seconds later, he looks at John Connor and he's all crying, and he's like, what are those things coming out of your eyes? Dude, I don't know about you, but I would not trust a Terminator who has detailed files on human anatomy, doesn't know what a tear duct is.
See, even James Cameron fucks up from time to time.
And Peter Jackson, too.
Peter Jackson does not fuck up.
Oh, please. A movie about a big black gorilla seduced by a white woman? Please. Peter Jackson did nothing but join the conspiracy, man.
We are not talking about conspiracies here. We are talking about plot holes. If you do not have a plot hole to share with everyone else, then be quiet. This is not your conversation.
Okay. How about the fact that Naomi Watts should have died of frostbite from sitting on top of the goddamn Empire State Building all night long with nothing but a flimsy-ass nightgown?
Yeah, it does get pretty cold up there, I imagine.
Maybe it was a warm night.
Warm night, my ass. King Kong was just ice skating in Central Park. Do you know how cold it has to be for a pond in Central Park to freeze over so goddamn thick that an 80,000-pound gorilla can slide his big black ass across it without falling through the damn pond?
Okay, maybe she should have turned into a popsicle. Okay, you got me there.
If you do end up remaking Star Wars, just please leave Jar Jar Binks out of it.
Yeah, and the Ewoks, too.
Yeah, no Ewoks.
Who's gonna direct, George Lucas?
No. He's the one who fucked it up in the first place. There's only one person I would trust with a remake of Star Wars.
Who?
Kevin Smith.
Kevin Smith? Kevin Smith, who does all the low-budget comedies? Why him?
He's the only director to actually have the balls to criticize the films and recognize their faults.
I think he's doing a horror film next. Dude, he's starting to branch out. It's perfect timing. Just, you're in luck.
Kevin Smith doing a horror film? I never thought he of all people would sell out like that.
Hey, lay off Kevin Smith.
How is doing a horror movie selling out?
Okay, you all are aware of how the FBI allowed cocaine, crack, and heroin to infiltrate the black communities in the 1960s, 70s, and 80s, right?
Yeah, I've heard about that. What does that have to do with horror films?
When the FBI failed to bring the full destruction of the black communities in the United States, they began an even more insidious plot, one that was harder to trace or decipher. They began to allow horror movies to be greenlit in Hollywood. And with their powerful influences and contacts, they currently run this program to destroy the black community from within.